So you stumbled across this video because, unfortunately, you've probably lost your dog. The number one dog to run away in America is the Labrador Retriever. I don't know why, but they are the most curious and most runawayable. Second come in is hunting dogs that are allowed to run around in the fields, bassets because they have a big strong nose, and well, any other kind of dog. So a big question I get is, why do they run away? Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes they're just terrified because of loud noises such as fireworks, fire engines, ambulances, or sometimes it's hunting season. Sometimes they're being hunted by other things, stalked by a coyote or a large dog, or even if they're a small dog, maybe an eagle or a hawk. The natural instinct of mating or anxiety can definitely play a big role in this. This is the best time to look right now in your phone to see if you have a good photo of your pet. And then call your neighbors and talk to them and tell them what happened, that your dog is missing. Then you're going to call the local animal shelter and you're going to leave them a message, description of your pet, important medical information, and send them a photo. And then do the same with your veterinarian. This is a great job for someone who is not freaking out and has a minute to do these things for you. Now it's time to have that person who is handling the other things make a lost dog poster. Make sure that you put their name, your name, good phone number, and a really good description of them, and a reward if you're offering one, and any pertinent medical information. Now it's time to launch a search party. Grab any neighbors, kids, friends, anybody that is willing to help. And also, don't forget to leave somebody at home so that in case your dog comes home, there's someone there to greet them. Throw out a blanket, maybe some toys, and hope for the best that they just come back home. Now grab your leash, some good treats, a new toy, if you have one, and don't forget the water. The first thing we're going to do is not drive around because it's really hard for a pet to keep up with you, to be seen by you because you're driving. Put your shoes on and get your butt outside and start walking around looking for them. You're going to want to visit any place that has other dogs, dog runs, anybody that has a fence, that has a pet in there. Your pet is going to sniff around and smell all those things, so you're going to want to check that out. Any hiking trails that you've been on that they seem to enjoy, and places they've always wanted to visit but you won't let them. Spots that they love. Any place with children. The park is a great place to look for them, especially if they've been there recently. If you're in the country, a farm is a very, very fun place for a pet to be. There's all kinds of smells and things to roll in. Take your normal walk path, the one that you take every day. You might just find them there. Watch for their tracks in the sand. Dogs have so many scent glands located on their body, but they have them in their feet as well, so they have a way to find their way home as long as they turn back around. Their nose and whiskers also have them, and anywhere that they use the bathroom. As long as they turn around, they should be able to find their way back home by sniffing for their own scent. With all the sniffing they do and the sniffs they sniff, if they just turned around, they could probably find their way back home. Even if your dog wanders far, 10 miles is not too far for them to find their way back home. In the luck that you do find your pet, when you approach them, they may be very scared because they're out of their normal environment. Even though you're their owner, they might not recognize you and run away. This is a good time to get on their level so that they feel safe and not so overwhelmed. What you want to do is you want to give them food and treats and snuggles and reward them. You don't want to discipline them. At this time, they don't even know why they're in trouble, if they were to be in trouble. So taking toys away, locking them up, or disciplining them is just a waste of your effort. When they do return home, they're going to be exhausted. I want you to check them over really well. Look for broken toenails, puncture holes, torn pads, that kind of thing. Torn pads can happen because they're running around in area and terrain that they normally are not in. Also, if you find any sap or pine pitch, you're going to want to remove that. Giving them some snuggles and then checking them all over for fleas and ticks and small ticks and large ticks. Any that are attached, you want to get them removed as quickly as possible. Any cuts that are of substantial size might need a veterinarian to look at them. Give them a bath. Get them nice and clean. Any dog that is limping needs to go to the vet to be checked over to make sure there's not a broken bone. I want you to monitor your dog very closely for the next 24 hours. You're going to want to watch for excessive lethargicness or being super exhausted. If they have eaten any trash or gotten into some roadkill, things that, they just can't really avoid because of the smell. If they've eaten poison mushrooms, those can all be very, very harmful for them. Another thing to think about is while your pet was out running around, they could have been hit by a car, causing bloating. There is a very painful thing called GDV that is a twisted stomach, basically. If you have a deep-chested dog, that is something you should be worried about. So looking at your dog's belly or abdominal area to see if it's swollen or distended, if they're drinking an excessive amount of water. When touched, if they're very uncomfortable or kind of cry, if their head or neck has any swelling of any kind or any type of eye injury, those are definitely emergency vet times to call. So you need to get in as soon as possible. So now that we found your dog, yay, everything is good. We got your pet back home. This is amazing. Make a phone call to the people that you notified that your pet has been found and remove all those posters because no one wants to look at them, especially if you found your dog. Also, don't forget to thank everyone that helped you out. If your pet did not return home, the reasons that they might not have returned home could be multiple. But injury, being trapped somewhere, completely turned around, caught by another person, or unfortunately deceased. And at that point, we will always have wondering and worries where they might be. On the other side, share a story if your lost pet was returned home. Tell me how it went. Just know that if your pet was lost, it's a really good idea to bring them into the vet just to have a checkup, make sure everything's good, make sure nothing is out of the ordinary. The veterinarian has an eye for looking for things like that. If you did find any value in this video, please like and share it. I would really appreciate that because it really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you do find your lost dog. I'm here for you. You're here for your pet. Have a great day.